An Angry Bears fan podcast episode 84, almost to 100. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comes on the heels of a unfortunate Bears loss. I guess. I mean, we both picked it to be a loss. Even though you pick them to be a loss, it still hurts. Because I mean, obviously, it never really felt like. I guess in the beginning, it felt like we are in the game, but it was so close. But it just felt like we weren't going to catch up, no matter what. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
Bears
even
win.
though even though the game was 19-13, it really felt like it was like a 28-7 game the
Yes.
entire time. It just the offense had nothing going. I mean, at least you could say that the defense stepped up. The defense gave us an opportunity to win. The least you can ask for is having the ball in your offense's hands, last possession of the game with an opportunity to go down the field and score against a team that a lot of people, myself included, really feel are contenders in the AFC, as well as Super Bowl contenders on the road, nonetheless. Um, I mean, there's not really much you can ask for. You were kind of hoping that maybe, Caleb would have his, you know, arrival moment, and it just never happened. We'll get into that. We'll get into the abysmal offense, the terrible offensive line, but we got to give our kudos to the defense. We'll start there. We'll start with the positive. Give our flowers to the defense. 3 points allowed in the second half against a really, really, really good Houston Texans offense. I mean,
Yes.
CJ Stroud is amazing. Nico Collins is just a fucking he's him. He's a freak, dude.
Yes.
That you can't guard somebody of his size and stature is any better than the Bears did, really, and he still got him for over 120 yards.
Yeah, he was playing a
Yeah.
lot in the slot, which is just a nightmare for guys in the slot. Somebody as big as Nico Collins who moves that fast, it's like, what do you do? Like
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Gordon tried. I mean, a lot of the catches, I mean, weren't perfect coverage, but pretty decent coverage. What do you do when a guy's that big, he's that fast, and CJ Stroud was making the throws? But you're right. I 100% agree. The defense, as we've grown accustomed to in Chicago, not as the last few years, but our lifetime, the defense kept us in the game. Like you said, it did feel like it was a one-score game most of the game. Um, just never felt like that. It never felt like we were going to tie the game up or take the lead. Um, I mean, one step forward, two steps back. But I'll stay on the defense though. But the defense looked good. Pass rush was a little iffy, but linebackers and corners really played good. There was a couple bad first downs we gave up, but CJ Stroud's a guy. He's a him. You know what I mean? They're gonna make 3rd and 12s. They're gonna get them sometimes, and like you know what I mean. That's what we're hoping our guy does. But that part of our game has been good. I would hope to see a little more blitzing, a little more pass rush. But I mean, they held CJ Stroud and the Texans to under 20 points. You cannot ask
Yeah, and
any more
you
from your defense than that. I mean, especially we
absolutely
had
not.
multiple turnovers, couldn't move the ball. You know what I mean? They weren't always starting in favorable position, and they did their thing.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Mixon last week for them, had 30 carries for 160 yards. And he wasn't getting that this week. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, when CJ Stroud, what really killed the Bears defense is when CJ Stroud broke the pocket,
Yeah,
and was rolling and was just making these unbelievable like
touch
dot
passes. Yes,
throws, dude, just dots. Um, and it was great to see, a young quarterback that we picked that should have been the number one overall pick last year, doing the things that he does. And, I know it draws up a lot of the comparisons to Caleb. Can Caleb do what CJ Stroud did and yada, yada, yada. CJ Stroud, we also got to remember last year, struggled his first 6 or 7 games. Not to the extent that Caleb is. We'll get into that, but he didn't look like CJ Stroud the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season last year either. So
I kind of, I guess, but
they
I think they threw for. I mean, he threw for like 400 week 2.
yeah, I mean, without a
Um,
doubt.
and it was a good game. I'm not as high. I mean, I don't like to say that the Texans are a Super Bowl contender. I guess they're a top 4 or 5. They're going to make the playoffs in the AFC. So does that make them a Super Bowl? They're not beating the Chiefs, so I don't really think they're a Super Bowl contender. Because we know the road goes. I mean, unless Patrick Mahomes get hurt, it goes to there. But it was a solid test. At least we know the Bears defense is going to be good all year. My gripe with the Bears defense that everybody hyped up last year was that we played good against the bad teams. or the first three quarters, and it kind of padded our stats. But we played a pretty complete game against them. Like I said, 19 is great against a team like the Houston Texans, especially as poorly as we played all the punting, all the short fields. And yeah, I guess I tip my hat to Eberflus in that manner, and um, Eric Washington. But to get onto the offense, it's just abysmal. I know Caleb's a rookie. So I don't know. Like I try to temper my expectations. Also, I got the pom poms out for him, but it's just frustrating. Like I don't like to see little stuff that I was told that like yes, I understand he's not going to come out and throw for 350 and be the MVP, but the little stuff that I was told that like oh he gets you know what I mean he's got better pocket awareness, he's getting the ball out. I mean I know the O line sucks. We harp on it every week, but these are the
I
guys
mean,
we
he's
have.
getting the ball out. He's getting
Yes,
the
I
ball
know.
out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not getting, but he still got sacked a bunch of times. He's I don't know if he's not hitting the right guy or he's not getting it out. I mean, hitting them where they can run with it. I don't know, but the
I want to
offense isn't
know
there.
how I want to know how we supposedly spent some investment in the offensive line this past offseason. Granted, it wasn't much, but the offensive line has regressed as badly as it has. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's this Chris Morgan.
This is
There's, there's a lot of sound bites out there from players in particular, Tevin Jenkins in particular, who Tevin Jenkins is a guy that always takes responsibility, always,
yes,
always, always. And there's that clip out there saying, hey, we're blocking the way we're, the scheme wise, the way we're told to be blocking. And a lot of people are taking that as a shot at coaching, whether it be Shane Waldron or Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. And realistically, they probably are very frustrated. When you have that, I mean, we need to see what Amagaji can do. I mean, realistically, I know he's a rookie himself and he's coming off of an injury, but he cannot be any worse than Nate
yeah,
Davis.
I
The
agree
fact
there.
that Nate Davis is still on this fucking football team infuriates me. He was he was a a cut guy going into the offseason. I know they pay him $10 million or whatever. I don't care anymore. He is god awful. Coleman Shelton is he's
I
trash.
mean,
I mean,
if we're going off last game,
not
everybody was bad.
it's
Kevin
not
Jacobs
his
was bad.
it's not his fault in particular because Ryan Poles, I get wanting to upgrade, different positions, but you get what you pay for at the center position in particular. And yeah, at the time I did like the DeAndre Swift signing, but he is absolutely useless when he's got nowhere to run. And Shea Waldron calling plays for outside zone, you can't do that. Like the tag, especially on the road, on a silent count,
Yeah,
the
that's what
tackles aren't
Olin
getting
said.
off the way they're
That's what
supposed to be doing.
Olin said. Yeah, Olin
Where
tweeted that
is
out.
Roshan Johnson? Like,
Yeah,
why
why
are
is he
we
not
not
playing?
running north and
Uh,
south? I
I
want to see
guess
more touches from
Roshan
him.
Johnson.
And why is Travis Homer taking snaps away from Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson?
Yes, I
Why is
don't get it.
Gerald Everett still catching fucking tight end screens, designed fucking tight end screens? I
What did I message you in the middle of the game? Why is DeAndre Carter getting so many targets? He was a he's our fifth wide receiver return man, and what do he have? 10 targets in the game? Eight? Like I mean, I know you're trying to throw to the open guy, but it's like this is just not making any sense. And I know everybody had the pom poms out for polls, and polls is cooking. But I mean, as time goes on, this isn't the first time I said that. Some of these moves are souring me. Like I'm optimistic. I got the rose-colored glasses on in the offseason, but I wasn't happy with the Doomsday pick. I mean, I know Alton fall to us at 8, but I just thought like move up to get alignment. I just thought we needed alignment, especially if we were taking Caleb after trading for Keenan. Then, I mean, he's traded for 3 wide receivers. We've gone through 2 entire off seasons where he hasn't. I mean, we got Nate Davis, but he was a bargain bin lineman. Like where he didn't. There was a handful of big names, and I mean, some of them didn't pan out where they went. But who knows? They might have panned out for us. But he didn't go after any. Like you just said, to get what you pay for. And like, I don't get. Like, I understand polls of the rebuild and all this stuff, but as a former offensive lineman itself, you would think we would invest more in the offensive line. We have so much money and capital and trade investment in wide receiver, and it's like what do we need 3 good wide receivers for if we only got 1.5 seconds to pass? Um, so that part is just like I don't get it. And then Poles didn't fire Eberflus. He hired Shane Waldron. Like, this is what he chose. And it's went through training camp. We went through the preseason. Like they put this product out there, and it's like now it's supposed to be like, oh, well, trust the rebuild, trust process. We were a game and a half away from making the playoffs last year. Then we added Keenan Allen, a generational talent at quarterback, Roma Dunze, multiple other people we traded for. It's like I'm at least expecting us to make the playoffs. And I mean, that's not out of the picture now. I know it's week 2 and the sky's falling, but I mean, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we're going to make the playoffs if we don't get considerably better. Like,
Well,
if we can't block the Texans, Aiden Hutchinson's going to eat Caleb Williams alive.
here's the
Kenny
thing.
Clark and Rashawn Gary, those guys are going to kill him.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that so the next couple weeks, right? We've got Indy without DeForest Buckner and Lotto. Okay,
Yeah,
both those guys
a
are
rookie
expected.
quarterback too.
Yeah, and both those guys are expected. I'm not even worried about
Yeah, I
the
know. I'm just saying, like, it should be the defense should
but
handle it pretty well, and the
yeah, the
offense.
defense should
Yeah,
be fine. We're not going to be, under siege. At least we shouldn't be under siege. The offensive line needs to. We're not going to face another defensive line like that until San Francisco. Probably, and that's a ways away since we don't play the
but
division
then
till
it's the
like.
gauntlet. Like I said, we're
Um,
gonna have to face the Lions twice, the
yeah,
Packers
so
twice.
realistically, these next few weeks are going to be extremely imperative for the offensive line to fix their shit and fix it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because, like I said, Indy, we have Indy coming up on Sunday. No DeForest Buckner or Latu. So that's a good sign. Then you got the Rams who are just absolutely reeling. They're not going to have Puka. They're not going to have
Probably not
Cooper
Cup.
Kupp. You know what I'm saying? They have all. We thought our offensive line was bad. Theirs is in even worse shape than ours. And they don't have Aaron Donald anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Carolina, October 6th.
Well, my
Who just
concern is with the tape that we have now. That's like they're all just gonna blitz and throw caution to the wind, and it's like you don't need a good D line. We're just gonna come after them, and it's like these
That's
guys
fine. They
look
can do that
lost.
because those other teams don't have as good of a defense as Tennessee and Houston. I will take. I will
I
put
don't know what are they middle of the pack defenses?
who
I mean Tennessee. I mean they got good D line. What are they? I mean I guess they had a decent start, but they faced us and Aaron Rodgers, so statistically they probably look good. But I mean
they're
coming
not
into
a
the
bad
league.
defense at
No, I'm
all.
not saying
Not,
bad. I'm
not
just
at
saying what
all.
they're like middle of the pack defense. Like
I think Tennessee finishes in the top half of the league
they
in
have a
terms of
really
total
good they have a
defensive
good D
rating.
line, but their corners are okay. They got Snead now, but they got okay. They lost Byer. They don't have any. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying trying to talk shit about them, but I'm not upping them. Like in the Texans again. I mean, they got Will Anderson, Hunter, and that like, but I don't. I guess we'll see how that goes too. But we've got to be like I don't know. I close my eyes and I just like I don't understand what Post was thinking. We were like everybody just let Post cook and all this and that, but some of these trades and moves don't look so good. It's like the retarded GM of the Panthers blessed him with the trade of the century, and I feel like that's like everyone's like, all right, he's the best because and again, I've always been on this train. I don't. We could have kept Roquan for what we got. Like I like Sanborn makes more plays than Edmonds right now. Like I know they got 2-for-1, Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds for the price of Roquan. I understand that, and I don't think Edwards is that bad. I think he's a pretty good linebacker. But right now I think I'd rather have Sanborn and Roquan than T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. And we let James Daniels go. He's a really good interior lineman. I don't understand why we didn't have a quarterback on the books. We were in a rebuild. Why can't we pay James Daniels a little bit of money as a quality lineman who played on our team and been there? Like I feel like now is like this weird ass political
Because
thing where
he wasn't quality. He wasn't quality when he was with us. It's like
maybe not the last year, but he had some quality years with us. Yes, he wasn't the best the final year before he left, but that could have been a product. Whatever. What I'm saying is like neither was the guy he replaced him with, or any of the guys he signed.
no, and I think a lot of that
And
has
these
to do with
guys have
coaching.
went on. James Daniels is fine on the Steelers.
And like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with coaching.
Yes,
That offensive
and
line,
he tires the coaches, so it's like
that
this falls
yeah,
at Poles' feet now. He
this
can't keep
the
skating it.
offensive line coach. No, the offensive line coach. Like I said, the players were throwing him under the bus. Eberflus is one hell of a defensive coordinator, and I think that's all he really is
Yes,
just a really good defensive coordinator. As
he
a
can't
head coach,
challenge. What the
yeah,
hell was those challenges?
as a head coach, he's struggled with time management in the past. He struggled with challenges in the past. You know, it's one thing to be a player's coach, but when you are coaching based on your players' reactions and everything, that's a sign of a bad coach. And you have to be able to rein them in. There a lot of undisciplined football. You know, the pre-snap penalties and the procedure penalties and the delay of games and all that. Like
The
it's
bad blocking. That's coaching. Like linemen are linemen. Those guys are freaks and they're special. But it's five guys as one. It's not so. Yeah, occasionally you got a Trent Williams out there and he's a boss.
they're
But
struggling with the simplest of fucking concepts. I was
I mean,
telling
they're
you,
not even winning
what did
one-on-ones
I text
besides
you?
concepts. Like
What
Darnell
what did
Wright
I
was getting
text you in the
cooked.
middle of the game? It's the simple stunt, the tight end defensive tackle stunt, the loop, right? And they can't stop it. And literally, as I texted you that, the very next fucking play, Caleb Williams got absolutely rocked. And yes, you're right. They can't win win the one-on-ones. And then the play design where they're having Cole Kmet drag across the offensive line to block fucking Daniil Hunter one-on-one. What?
I don't.
Like
Yeah, I
it
don't.
doesn't make any sense. Tight end screens to Gerald Everett. Fucking, dude, Travis Homer having more snaps than Khalil Herbert and fucking Roshan Johnson.
And I don't get
I just
like last year we were the best rushing team in the league, or top two or three. I know, and I'm sure Justin played a part. He rushed for 800 yards, whatever. But regardless of that, they knew we were running, and Roche or not Roshan, but Herbert and who the fuck? Yeah, Foreman and all of them. They did their thing. Like
it's because that was a north-south game. Now
yes,
with
and
Jay
now
Waldron's offense, it's an outside zone scheme and it's not working.
and like I said, some of these signings are coming. Like you said, Swift is what the fuck. Like, look how good Saquon's been. Why couldn't we pay Saquon? Like, look how good
I
he's
don't.
like.
It's Saquon in this system, the way it is with this blocking, Saquon wasn't
Saquon's
fixing
used
it.
to it, but what I'm saying is he's a pass catcher. He's a difference maker. He breaks tackle. What did I say? Has DeAndre Swift broken a fucking tackle yet? He
It's
doesn't
hard
break
when you got
tackles.
it's
I
hard when you
know.
got 3 or 4 fucking defensive linemen on you,
I
assuming you get
understand, but
the
you
fucking
see
ball.
fucking Saquon and these guys make people miss. Like,
Like
uh, I, I understand that, but we're stuck
it's
with the
hard
offensive
to make
line.
people miss when you're getting hit in the backfield 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
But what I'm saying
I
is we're
don't care
stuck with
who you are, unless Walter Payton and Jim Brown is walking in that fucking locker
or
room.
Saquon.
Nobody's fucking doing that. Not even
Saquon.
Saquon. No,
No, I think
not even
Saquon is head
Saquon.
and shoulders above DeAndre Swift, and
I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying
he
he
would have
isn't.
run for 100
I'm,
yards a game, but I'm saying he would have been better than Swift in every
maybe a
opportunity.
couple carries a game, he'd be better. There's no way he's breaking
That's
40
all we need right now. I'm
time.
not saying we need him to be our bell cow. We're not getting plays from anybody. Swift's not making
And it
plays.
wouldn't come from Saquon either.
I
With this
don't agree.
blocking scheme right
I
now,
don't
there's
agree.
no way.
I don't agree. Like I said, I think there's
I'm
like I
not
said,
saying he's
the
not a
play
better
we were
player.
talking about in particular, where DeAndre Swift's one-on-one with the corner. This isn't even a bad block play. Gets
Yeah,
tackled. Like
he's
that's what
got
I'm
to
saying.
make
Like
he's got to
he's got
make
to make
people
a
miss.
play. Like he's got to make a play somewhere. Somebody does. Caleb's trying. He had a few good runs. He's making people miss in the backfield. And I understand he's running for his life. But there's just some bad throws he's making too when the pocket's clean and things like that. Like not every bad throw he made was because he was getting pressure.
No, he's letting it get to him.
Yes,
He's got the happy feet. He's got the you know what I'm saying. And that's the thing is that you take this quarterback number 1 overall and you don't put an offensive line in front of him and now you're gonna get him killed. And that was one of the things I texted you during this game. I said they're gonna get him killed.
I mean we've
Um
seen it. We've literally seen it before. We've seen. Who knows if Justin would have been good early on, but we do know that his confidence got shattered and he got ripped to shreds. And it's hard to forget that. It's hard to forget a 9-sack game your first time out there. It's hard to forget just getting fucking hit 15 times in the game. Like I understand why he got happy feet, and I'm not trying to hold it against Caleb, but this is what I was always talking about. That like I didn't want this season to be a throwaway, and
yeah, and
two
getting
weeks
pressure,
in, it feels like that. Like
having 36 total pressures on 37 drops is just that is in order if the offensive linemen aren't embarrassed by that number alone, then everybody needs to go. That is one of the most embarrassing stats I have ever seen. And granted, it wasn't, every single pass, every single drop back pass attempt, he wasn't getting pressured. That was total pressure. So, like,
I was just gonna
multiple
say if there
rushers
was
on
two
one
people in one
side.
game, yeah. Because I
You
was
know what
gonna
I'm
say I
saying?
don't remember like I said there was a few where again he made good throws in his team pocket.
Yeah.
But I mean again we've seen this the same story Justin with Mitch with Rex with Cutler. We've seen for whatever reason we don't want to build throughout the trenches. Poles has had two full off seasons now, two drafts, and we've gotten Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. And Braxton Jones is a happy accident. I'm assuming he thought he was going to be a backup, and he turned into a pretty solid starter. Who I mean,
That
he's plays
that's
poorly.
why, honestly, that's why what's the worst that can happen by throwing Amagaji in?
I agree, and I'm not like you said, Nate Davis. He can't be any worse than Nate Davis has been now.
No, it really can't be any worse than Nate Davis. You really can't. And I'd be okay with moving Tevin over to right guard, having him right next to Darnell Wright,
They
kicking
seem to have a chemistry that when he was at right guard, I felt like he was
yeah.
playing better.
Well, kick Braxton Jones down to left guard and throw Amagaji on the blind side. I mean, you had a fifth round rookie when he was a rookie doing it. Why not have a third round rookie? You know what I'm saying? He's a raw product as well. Who knows? Maybe it turns out good. But you need to get rid of Nate Davis. It needs to happen. Move Tevin over to right guard, kick Braxton Jones down, and throw Amagaji on the left side. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I really don't see it. I don't know. Like Poles is
And how and like is Doug Kramer healthy? Right? If Doug Kramer's healthy because he's been injured, often injured, since we drafted him or whatever it is. Granted, he was drafted in the 6th round a couple years ago, whatever the case may be. But if he's healthy, get Coleman Shelton out and throw Doug Kramer in. Again, what's the worst that can happen? You can only, dude. I'm telling you, I can. I am a fat white man and old at the age of 35, and I feel like I might get lucky one time going up against this offensive line.
yeah, if you're the guy that fucking stunts around, you're definitely gonna get lucky.
Yeah,
You're
that's what I'm
a considered
saying. Like
runner. It's like,
start me off at defensive end. I'll pretend like I'm rushing. I'll loop around. It might take me, a whole 2 minutes to get there, but I'm gonna get there.
and it's like I don't understand how they haven't seen this already. Like we have a good defense. That's who you guys have been going up against practice every week, every day, every other day, whatever the fuck you guys are doing. Billings and Sweat and all of them haven't been blowing up our offensive line to show us that you don't know what the fuck they're doing, or to show the outside zones aren't working, or like what is going on. I don't understand how this is the product we're putting on the field. Um, Again, I'm not going to continue to let Poles skate. Like he hired these guys. He hired Shane Waldron. He hired the offensive line coach. He signed almost every player on the team damn near now. He didn't cut certain players. He gave certain player contracts. He made 3 wide receiver trades. Where is the offensive line help? Like that's like as an like I don't know if he's got a soft spot for these 5th round training camp possible cut type guys, and he wants to give them a chance because he never got his. But I don't know what it is. We need to be spending 1st round picks, 2nd round picks, and I know we got Darnell Wright, and that's a good start. But we need another one. We need a guard. We needed a center. Like we needed in multiple drafts, and you're drafting Pickens and Javon Dexter, and again, hopefully these guys
I
pan
would
out.
be I would be very surprised if this offseason, if our first 2 or 3 picks are not offensive linemen,
I
unless he
mean, I just
trades
think it's too little, too
unless
late at
he
this point, though. Like,
unless he trades the 2nd round pick from Carolina for somebody.
I mean, I think unless we win a playoff game, Eberflus is getting fired. I don't think he's a good head
No,
coach.
no, there's no
Um,
shot.
I mean,
No shot that
How much
happens.
time did they extend him?
There's no shot that happens. I really don't. I really
I
don't
think
think
if
that's
we
gonna
finish
happen.
7-9 and we have the worst offense in the league, like we got so far,
I still don't think it's gonna happen. I have this feeling if it was gonna happen, it should have happened last year, in the offseason. If Poles was even remotely thinking of it, it would have happened last year. And I just don't see it. I really don't.
well, who's going to pay for the bad year then? Who somebody's
It's
head's got to roll. You know that. That's the NFL. Somebody's head's got to roll.
yeah, no, I
Last
understand
year
it's
they
the
let
NFL, but
last year it was
this is
Getsy
also
and
the
Justin.
Chicago Bears. This is the same Chicago Bears organization that gave Ryan Pace 7 years.
Yeah,
It's not going
and
to
the
happen.
same one that fired Lovey after he went 10-6.
It's not going to happen.
I
It's
don't know.
not gonna
I
happen.
don't know how you say that after Lovey got fired after
It's
being
not gonna
good.
happen
I'm almost positive.
because
I'd be
Lovey was
willing to
here
bet
for.
if we go 7-9, he's fired. There's no way.
I would be willing to bet that if they go 7-9 and they don't make the playoffs, Manny Eberflus is still the head coach next year.
No, I don't think so.
I really
I think
do.
somebody's head's got to roll. Caleb's can't. Foles isn't going to fire himself. I don't think you can fire. I guess Waldron gets fired too. Um, but I mean, I would personally be calling for it. Somebody's got to pay. They told
It's not
they
going to be Foles and
they laid this
Eberflus.
out to us. I mean, Chicago media, I mean, polls. You know what I mean? And amongst other words, I mean, he didn't obviously say this, but they said Caleb was going to fix a lot of our problems. That our offensive line was pretty good. Justin was holding the ball too long. You know what I mean? Like this is what was told to us. Like you know what I mean? Like, and this is what the experts are saying. You know what I mean? Our line's good. They're holding the ball too long. Well, Caleb doesn't hold the ball too long. He's getting his fucking ass kicked too. Like, and I know Justin hasn't been crazy good. I mean, he's been middle of the pack, but I mean, that's what we have right now. And I feel like we could have had Joe Alt in that. Like, and it just seems ever like, are we ever going to get a Joe Alt type or a Zach Martin or Quinn Johnson? Are we ever really going to invest in one of those guys instead of trying to do it with fourth, fifth round picks and guys you traded for seventh round picks? Like,
Yeah, it's
you
going
know
to
what I
need
mean?
to
You
happen.
look
Like
at
I said,
Kansas City, like they got Thuney, Creed. These guys are first and second round draft picks.
and look at Detroit. What did I tell you when I talked about Detroit preseason in terms of NFC North rankings and everything else like that? They have 3 first-round picks on their fucking offensive line, dude.
Yes.
Like Detroit's offensive line is very stout.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And Penesa was probably the second best tackle in football behind Tristan Wirfs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and Tristan Wirfs is a first round pick.
Yeah. But
Joe
yes,
Alt
I
already
don't get
looks
it.
like a fucking stud. Like,
Matt Slater is on the Chargers. He's on the other side. He looks fucking
yeah,
amazing. Like I understand Darnell Wright has been okay. Not the honestly, this last game he played is the worst game he's played by far. And he's kind of getting
the
thrown in
whole
with the
offensive line is regressing, dude. It's
yes,
fucking terrible.
yes, and that's coaching. I don't know if it's regression, but we're not doing what our guys are good at. We've seen
No.
them be pretty good in the pass blocking game. You know what I mean? And we've seen them be a top 5 run blocking offensive line.
Have we had, now that I think about it too, because I talked to you about the halfback screens, especially against the pressure, in the previous game against the Texans, we not once did we attempt a halfback screen in that game. But at the same time, in the last 2 weeks, have you seen one single RPO?
No,
Not one.
we
Why?
don't. I was reading something. We're like for whatever reason we get a new coordinator, but we're still the same old age Chicago Bears. We run the least motion. We're not doing any motion. I say this. I've been saying
And
it for
that
the
helps
longest.
the young quarterback
That's what I
determine if
said.
he's
That's what I
in his
said.
zone.
Matt LaFleur. It's like I don't think I don't even think the Packers wide receivers individually that good. I think Matt LaFleur schemes up some amazing plays where guys are running wide open. They're easy reads for the quarterback because they're running full speed. People are running all over the like. It's like we're not doing anything creative. They're like, all right, we're gonna show. I feel like they did this with Justin. They were like, all right, we need to see if Justin can do it. So we're gonna just drop back and you know what I mean, try and be fucking Peyton Manning. And I feel like that's what they're doing, Caleb. We're not doing anything creative. We're not. He's got sacked 6 times. No bootlegs. No boots. Nothing. Like this is like you said, 101 stuff that anybody who's played football their whole life knows. You got a young quarterback, a new quarterback. You run the boots. 3 wide receivers, some easy max protection blocking with an easy, and you build his confidence until you go down there. But when he's getting his ass kicked in the fourth quarter, when you need him to make big throws, he can't make them because he's shook.
Nope.
And it's like DJ Moore was there. You watch that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He held him to the inside perfectly. That back shoulder throw's got to be there.
Yep.
And whatever you want to say about Justin or Bajent, they were making that fucking throw to DJ Moore last year. He had
Yes, they
1,400
were.
yards, and he missed a game or two. And it's like, obviously, I've seen the throws. Justin is, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the arm talent. But for whatever reason, they had a connection. We need that connection back. We need that's 1,400 yards right there that we need. It's Waldron, Caleb. We gotta be locked in on getting DJ Moore the fucking ball. And like you said, north south running. We were good at that. get Khalil Herbert. I don't understand why Homer. He said, why is he getting any fucking snaps?
I don't know if
He's
I
been
don't
a
know if
special teams fifth string running back for 10 years.
I don't know if Shane Waldron has a room, especially in Hallis Hall, for just his buddies. But it's got to change. His personnel packaging has to change. Otherwise,
Yeah, Everett
it's gonna
Homer,
be
yeah, ex Seattle guys, and it's like he's trying to get them involved.
yeah, no, he can't do that because
No,
he will have the entire city of Chicago asking for his head on a platter worse than Luke Getzey. At this point, it's almost like we miss Luke Getzey because at least he was throwing in the proper,
we can run the ball at
personnel
least.
packages.
Like we could at least
You know
we
what I'm
had an
saying?
identity right now. I guess our identity right now is defense. We need an identity on offense, and like I said, this is my gripe.
We have no identity on offense. You're
If
100%
let's
right.
say, I mean, I guess our offensive line sucks, so I guess it would suck. It's like if we were running for 180 yards a game, like that'd be perfect to pair with our fucking defense. Like right now, we can't run the ball, we can't pass the ball, we're just punting, and the defense is just like I said, playing crazy good. And it's like, can they keep that up all year? What if somebody gets hurt on defense? Like, we can't just expect them to keep holding everybody under 20 points. That's not going to happen. We need to match that. And it's like the Bears. What do we have? What 0 passing touchdowns in 5 games? Or I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, zero. Or I'm pretty sure 0 touchdowns for Caleb in 5 games. I know some of them are preseason games. He only played a little bit, but
Doesn't matter. It doesn't
exactly.
mado
That's not
It's
good. That's just not good enough.
no.
And I don't want to hear Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions when he was a rookie, and you do it's like Jamarcus Russell didn't. Like you know what I mean? Like why I don't want to. It's like just because they said he was generational, he could just suck. I'm not saying he is, and I have no choice but to hope he's going to get better. But that's not good enough, and they need to help him. They need to be scheming stuff. And I know Keenan Allen dropped a touchdown pass. A lot of stuff's going on. There's context to be made, but at the end of the day, we lost and our offense has been terrible. And there's blame to go around to everybody. But I mean, you're a franchise quarterback. That's what it is. Rookie or not, it's your fault. Like your fault. It's the head coach's fault. It's the quarterback's fault. A rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, whatever it is. That's just what it is. The blame falls at your feet, and we see the bad throws, and I understand why they're happening. But I mean, we're not in the. We're like, I mean, we're not at the end of the rebuild, but we're not at the beginning either.
Nope.
I understand Caleb's just doing, but we want to see some results. I don't want another throwaway year. And like I said, we've traded for 3 wide receivers. We've been through 2 whole drafts. It's like I gotta wait another year. And like I said, I want to see something from Caleb right now. Like this rhetoric that like, oh well, Justin's in year 3 and this and that. Well, you said he sucked. If I gotta wait for year fucking Caleb Williams for year 3, then does he suck too? Like, if I want to see something now, it don't gotta be. It doesn't have to be the MVP of the league, but I want to see some like what he was as advertised. He don't like I said, I don't need him to be the MVP. I don't need him to be what Stroud was, but I need him to be Gardner Minshew.
You need him to at least be what Justin Fields' floor is.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he needs to be
You
better than Justin was. Period. That's what we were told. That's I mean, and like I said, polls didn't say it, but the moves he made said it, and that's fine. If I mean, we had to live with that, but he's got to be better than Justin. I don't like if we go through this year and he's got the same stat line as Justin. What the fuck were we doing? We could have got Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr. or something. Like if that, you know what I mean? If that's what we were gonna do, and at that point, Caleb was just another guy, and we could get just another guy in 2 years when Justin contract was over. I don't like. Again, I'm not a GM, and I know these are tough decisions, but it, it's what happens when you make them. We're gonna judge you on them, and I don't know. I don't know if it's Waldron, it's the O line. I mean, this is the same discussion we had with Fields. Was it the OC? Was it the O line? I don't know. But Caleb was as advertised as well. The O line could be bad. You know what I mean. He can evade that, and he makes quick throws, and he's got all the arm talent, all the angles. Like I want to see a little bit of it, and that fourth quarter drive is that's what we've been seeing from Justin. I know you're a rookie, and it's tough to go out there your second game and lead the team for the win, but I didn't tag you as generational. I mean, you went out and won the Heisman. Like I want to at least you know maybe don't win the game, but you hit the fucking back shoulder throw, one of them, like
yeah,
something,
show us something.
something, and it's like I haven't seen anything spectacular from him. And like I said, I don't want to like I know Poles is doing his trying to do his best, but seeing
Well,
the another year of the O line playing this bad is disheartening.
Oh, 100%.
It's like we
Um,
see Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, all these like I want to blocking is coaching, and you hire the coaches.
so week 3 coming up Sunday in Indy. It's a 12 o'clock game. They have a ridiculously talented quarterback in Anthony Richardson, but they are banged up. Defense will be tested deep. That's going to be one of those things that we'll see. But give me your keys to the game. Give me 3 keys that the Bears need to do to win this game on Sunday.
To win, we have to rush for 100 yards. I don't know what they're going to be doing in practice. Um, but if we're going to use the Caleb's a rookie and he's not ready to excuse, we got to get the run game turning again. Like you said, Herbert needs to be back in there. I don't like if you weren't going to trade him. She's shown he can play. Like I mean, I know Swift had a 1,000 yard season, but that was on a different team with a much better offensive line and a different scheme and 2 elite receivers, and you know what I mean. Like it's just a different thing. Like where's Roshan? I want to see him too. Roshan touches. Homer out of there. Everett. You know what I mean? Situationally, I'm not saying Everett's
I
bad, but
don't
like you
want to
said,
see. I don't want to
no
see
tight
Travis
screens.
Homer get a single fucking
Yes,
play on offense.
again, and he wasn't again. I guess his run wasn't that bad, but it's like I don't understand. Like, what is going on? Like, this is not what he told. This is like not what the depth chart says. This is not what the fuck you were doing in the preseason. And now all of a sudden, Shane Baldwin's like, I'm going to give Travis Homer a career special teamer. You know what I mean? 10. You know what I mean? 10 plays. Like, I don't get it. Like, I said it in the middle of the game. Why the fuck is DeAndre Carter getting so many targets? I don't get it. Like we have DJ Moore, and we didn't touch on this, and I'll go back to the Colts game. But at the end of the game, DJ Moore visibly upset,
Oh yeah,
and he had some down games. But honestly, I never seen him. He didn't do that last year. Nothing like that. Where I mean, he literally flailed on the ground, took his helmet off, and went over and started, you know what I mean, chirping to Bajan. I don't know what he said. I would love to know what he said to Bajan.
I would
Um,
like to know what he said too.
but I mean, I have to think he was pissed because that was a bad throw by Caleb. And I mean, obviously Justin made plenty of bad throws, but I thought him and DJ really had a connection where he didn't make bad throws to DJ. It was I just think Caleb wasn't giving DJ a chance to even make a play on one. Like you don't got to be perfect, but that one was
All
like he
right,
threw
so
it
100 yards. You got 2
100
more.
yards, 100 yards, no sacks, and I want us to get 2 or 3 sacks. I know the defense has been playing well, but I mean, I know Stroud's a lot better too. But I want to see us a couple times we get to the quarterback as well. I think Anthony Richardson, as mobile as he is, he gets happy feet. He stands there a lot. But I guess to keep defense, I guess to keep doing what they're doing. But we have to rush for 100 yards, and we have to keep Caleb clean. We need him confident. We need Caleb confident. We need that. Like we don't need to kill his like we did with Justin. And because he
You
again,
don't
if
need
you
Caleb getting. You don't need him getting gun shy.
yes,
Caleb's a
he's a
gunslinger.
gunslinger. Yes,
The
and
one thing you don't want to do with a gunslinger is make him gun shy, and I
yes,
feel like the offensive line is going to do
yes,
that.
and I think Caleb's getting there because, like I said, a lot of these throws are bad. That makes me think he's double clutching and second guessing himself. And again, I know everybody who's watching us, I've been Team Justin, and I still like the kid. I literally watched the last 2 entire Steelers games.
I
Um,
yeah, I watched the majority of the Steelers
and
game.
I mean that was with anybody. I follow Jay Cutler, but Caleb is still our guy, and I want to see him do good. But that doesn't absolve him from me pointing out when I think he played for it. And he is the Heisman. He, you know what I mean, is a pretty confident kid, and this is what comes with it if you're a franchise quarterback. I don't
You
want to.
have to.
Yeah,
Everybody
Bryce
has.
Young just got benched. Like,
Yep.
you know, this is just what it is, and I'm hoping that he is everything they said he was going to be, and I want him to do better. But I also don't want to throw this season away because he's a rookie, and we're he just joined, but we're year 4 of the or 3 of the rebuild. I mean, I know he just got here, but I'm tired of, you know what I mean, this god awful offense, and we still haven't migrated into the this century of NFL football.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100 yards on the ground needs to happen. Defense needs to force a turnover or two. You need to win the turnover battle
Yeah, we didn't
to
have
win
any
this
against the
game.
Texans, right? No, I don't
We
think
had
so.
one. We had the
Oh yeah.
fumble recovery
Oh yeah,
from
the fumble. Yeah.
and I think, we got to get our personnel fixed. We have to have the right personnel in there. Keeping Caleb clean. I expect a couple, I might expect 1 or 2 sacks, but what I really want to see is just a, a much more efficient offense. We need an offensive touchdown through the
Yes.
air. I want to see that. So
It's just very
whether it,
little rhythm. It's like what I like the only thing I have liked about the offense is we've been getting good. Like they'll throw like a curl on first down. Then we get a fucking false start, or we run a stretch and he gets tackled over the back. It's like what? Like this is just very frustrating. I didn't
yeah,
like the
we play
Wald.
behind the sticks a lot.
I don't like the Waldron. I don't know. Like I want Waldron to be better. We were supposed to be doing a lot of two tight end sets. Now it's just Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett.
We got Travis Homer and DeAndre Carter out there. It's like, where's Tyler Scott? Like, where's Roshan? What the fuck why is Roshan in the doghouse? Like, I don't like, why are these things so quiet? And you know what I mean? I see Caleb out there with his, you know what I mean, that look on his face that, you know what I mean, he's getting his ass kicked. He's got to go and answer those questions. And we've seen this story before. Some young kid with all the talent in the world come to Chicago behind some shitty offensive line, coached by some unimaginative, uncreative offensive coordinator, and they're ruined in a season and a half. And Caleb looks to be on that pace. And I like I said, I want the Bears to be good. Like I wanted to do with Justin. I want Caleb to be good. I mean, we have no choice now. That's why I said with the O line, it's like people are harping on the O line. This is what we got. Like, are they just gonna? Are we gonna snap our fingers? They're gonna be better? Like, no, they're probably gonna play better this next 3 games because we play bums. And when Aiden Hudson comes to town, it's gonna be need a nightmare. Same with the Packers. Like, that's why we can't beat the Packers. We can't block Kenny Clark. And it's like, how many years, how many prospects do we have to get hurt before somebody sees it? Like, I don't understand how this is migrated across, 7 head coaches and 3 GMs. Like, I guess, you know what I mean? Jerry Angelo got a couple first round guys. We had Kyle Long. What was that tackle we got? It was Gabe
Chris
Karimi.
Williams.
I thought it was Gabe Karimi. Was he a first
Gabe
rounder? Gabe
Creepy and
Karimi?
Chris Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, there were some misses, but again, I mean, even Gabe Karimi, he played a decent, like a long time. He was, decent right tackle for a little while. But that's what you do. If we're gonna roll the dice, I'd rather be on a lineman who, if he sucks, he can still play guard than some wide receiver who's a bust and we have no use for him at all. But yeah, I don't. It's just I wanted to win that game, and we only lost by 6, and it felt like we lost by 20.
Oh, I know.
And um yeah, like so close but so far. And if we would like I said, I don't know if we have Justin Fields to win that game, but like I don't even know. Like it making me feel like we were saying the other day, if Bateman was in, maybe we win. Like we just needed one touchdown. Like we needed one touchdown, we win the game, and we couldn't even get one. And that's again disheartening for the quarterback, the defense, and the fans. Like when does the defense finally like, oh fuck, no matter what we do, these guys are gonna do shit. Are they gonna have to play fucking give up less than fucking 18 points every game? Got to hold people under 10 to win. Like that's not a recipe for
It's not
success.
sustainable.
Yes.
All right. So real quick before we head out, final score prediction.
Um, I will say Chicago Bears 27 and 13 for the Colts.
27-13.
I think Caleb will have a touchdown. We'll have 2 rushing touchdowns and a couple field goals mixed in there. But I do think Caleb gets his first passing touchdown this game. Perfect set, like you said earlier, perfect set of 3 games for him to get back on his feet. The Rams suck, Panthers suck, Colts dealing with some injuries. They're middle of the pack. So we need to get it. We need to use these 3 games in this week, first half of our schedule, to get the kinks out and to figure this out. So we're at least,
Especially that second half of the season coming up too, because
like you said, San
that game against
Francisco, Detroit
Arizona.
twice, Green Bay twice. Like, yeah,
Um,
Arizona's not slouches now too. Look at them. They're not. You're not holding them under 20.
no.
I don't care how good the defense plays. You're not holding them under 20. So you got to come to score 30 on them.
Yep.
Um, so like I said, same with the Lions. Like, I mean, some game, you know what I mean? They're okay, but I mean, they're going to come out and score 3, 4 touchdowns. Packers. I mean, even with Malik Willis, we were hoping that we could get a little bit of lead with Jordan Love, and they came out and kicked the shit out of the Colts with no quarterback.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota with Sam Darnold.
just beat them. It's like, I mean, I thought Minnesota was going to be easy, and I still think worst case scenario we split with them, but I thought that was going to be a cakewalk. It's like there's no easy games, and like
Nope.
I said, it's got to be better. But yeah, the Bears. Hopefully they win on some. We get the next couple wins. That'll be good for Caleb. That'll be good for the Bears fan base right now because it's still the Civil War. the Caleb, Justin, and the every win Justin get and every interception he doesn't throw. I mean, they're just linked. I know Justin doesn't care and Caleb don't care about Justin, you know what I mean, and vice versa. But their fates are tied, at least for this year, because whatever Justin does, everyone's gonna say, well, fuck, we could have had that. So if he's
Yep.
good, if he's better than Caleb, everyone's gonna say, well, we could at least been that. Like, so I don't know. It's tough for Caleb. Like I said, I like Justin, but I just want the Bears to win. And I thought the best route was to keep Justin, and then I don't know if that's right, but I do know getting Joe Alt right now in hindsight looks like that's what we should have done. I mean, even though it probably wouldn't have been an option, but that's it. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll get back to you next week. We're thinking, like I said, we're gonna do it on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday nights from now on. It works best for us after the games. Let everybody else who's more popular than us do their videos, so we don't have to deal with their traffic. But all right, like I said, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Adios,
See you
buddy.
next
I'll
week.
talk to you.
I'll talk to you.